Hello, this is Rob from Giraffe, and this week we've got a new video for you. This week it's titled Don't Drink the Kool Aid. Let me share my PowerPoint, we'll get going. Don't drink the Kool Aid. What does that phrase mean? Well, the modern meaning is describing someone who is following a dangerous or reckless or extravagant plan with the promises of very high rewards. It's about absolute commitment to the folly. But it has an older, darker meaning. Don't drink the Kool Aid originated in the 1970s. There was a cult leader called Jim Jones who had built a new town in Guyana in South America called Jonestown, funnily enough. Jim Jones had a flock of 900 people under his leadership. And when a senator from the US came to investigate, because they were all US citizens, he had the senator murdered. He realized the end was up then, so he called a mass meeting and managed to convince all his flock, all 900 of them, including women and children, to drink Kool Aid laced with cyanide and commit mass suicide. What a terrible, dark thing to do. We've talked before about how business is a simple formula. Money in minus money out. And the idea is that the difference is a profit rather than a loss. We talked about the triangle of death and how it's simple. You just need to choose which of the two options out of the three that you're going to compete on and create value in. But life isn't that simple. You have to put in a lot of hard work and effort. You need to practice, you need to test, you need to think about what you're doing. You need to show up and put the work in, put in the hard yards. If you do that, eventually your business will grow and profits result and wealth will be created. But you can't be too oversimplistic about it. There's all sorts of gurus and consultants out there with a recipe for success in business, but often it's just a recipe for heartache and failure. Albert Einstein and Occam's razor talked about how you need a simple solution, but not too simple. Simple solutions and simple recipes for success often just end in failure. No one has a crystal ball. Clairvoyants don't exist. Take Bill Gates back in the late 70s. He tried to sell Microsoft to Ross Perot. He didn't see the future that Microsoft had before it. Ross Perot agreed to pay $20 million, but pulled out at the last minute, wondering whether it was wise. He really didn't see how big the personal computer would get and how great a company Microsoft would become. A more recent example in the technology sector is Google. Larry and Sergey tried to sell it to Yahoo for $1 million. That was so they could return to their studies at Stanford. Yahoo said no, that was a crazy valuation. 4 years later, Yahoo came back and offered them $3 billion. Larry and Sergey said no, but we'll take $5 billion. Again, Yahoo balked at the price, balked at the valuation and walked away. You'd have to add a couple extra zeros onto that price now to get somewhere close to the true valuation of Google. Business is about creating the machine. It's about working harder, getting better at what you do, and then success will follow. Anyone that has a simple recipe or simple solution is going to just create a failure and heartache. Avoid them, ignore them, don't drink the Kool Aid.